I've been building Shopify apps for the last 5 years. In that time, I've watched this space go through a lot of change. Algorithm shifts, new ad platforms, new discovery channels rising and falling. You get used to it, you learn to adapt and move on. But what's happening right now is several different than anything that I've seen in those 5 years. And I want to explain why. Because I think most of the people that have been building these products haven't caught up to it yet. For as long as any of us have been doing this, discovery meant SEO. You optimized for Google, you ranked, people clicked on a blue link, they landed on your page, and they decided whether to purchase or not. That's not what happens right now. What has changed is a real and growing share of that same decision making has moved into these AI tools, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini. People are asking an AI what's the best tool for X and taking its answer instead of Googling it and clicking through tens of results themselves. Even Google has presented Google AI overviews on top of their search results. So that's not a ranking algorithm tree. That's the actual discovery layer changing, the thing that decides whether a buyer ever hears your name or not. Similar thing that I've seen in my space as well is the share of people coming from all these tools have been increasing on a daily basis. Some of the customers that I have a talk with, they all say that ChatGPT recommended my products and they definitely believe on that. And that's why we are getting more share from that. Previously, it used to depend on Shopify App Store, but it doesn't matter anymore right now. So that's the thing that was very intriguing to me. And once I saw this clearly, I saw the obvious thing. I went and checked where I actually stood, not for my Shopify apps, but for my own SaaS, own business as a whole. I opened ChatGPT, asked the kind of questions that a buyer would actually ask, and looked at what it said. And the problem with doing that manually was the same problem you'd run anywhere else. I asked again and again the same questions, and I got different answers every time. Although my SaaS or my business was there in each of the answers, but it was different. And that's when I realized that, these tools, they are not the same every time. They won't give you the same answer. One time check isn't something that would do. So that's why, it's something that I built that runs the same way every day, whether I'm watching it or not. And this numbers becomes my visibility score. And it's not what happened on my last check. It's a rolling 7-day window. One flaky day, one weird phrasing cannot change the results. It's a combination of different things that helps me analyze where my business stands in this AI tools. So this is the tool that has been built, which is GetIntel. It helps you track all the results of daily results of LLM. It runs every day. It runs several prompts, and you can run your own prompts as well. And at the end, it gives me a visibility score. It scores all my competitors as well. So the best part of AI is that, once they give you an answer, it just doesn't give you one answer. It gives you a combination of different things. It gives you your competitors, it tells you certain data, and that becomes very clear for you to understand what you can do next. It just doesn't give you the names, it gives you the citations as well, or the URLs through which you can understand, where they are fetching the data from, because these tools, they don't inherently have data. They are taking data from the internet. And that's why, this helps me put my business in front of these tools in a better way once I understand where are they actually, what data are they actually trusting from. So here I can see my visibility score. I can work through it every day. I could see the leaderboard where, what my competitors are doing, where they land, what are the average positioning that they are being cited in, etc. These are the sources, the different sources that they cite through, and this helps me in understanding, okay, which part should I focus on. And here I can see a quick view of the different tools, going in and putting in the same prompt every day in these different platforms. It's definitely hectic, and also, it's not very clean. So this is where, I can just go in, see all my prompts out here, whether even I was recommended, mentioned, whether I'm absent, or it's open-ended. Again, the open-ended becomes very, very important for a business like ours or any other business, because you get to know, whether you can go ahead and track that open-ended platform or not, whether it's open for you to take or not. So that becomes very important. And the runs are done every day. So it's every day that, these are run, and I get the score, or I get the number based on, a rolling window, not just one day. Also, the competitors, I would say one of the things that these AI tools have done is, they have been very nicely positioning your competitors, so you get to know who are actually being cited. Previously one product or one business can have multiple competitors, but each of them would be in certain niche. So it's not necessary that in your niche, whatever you are trying to do, a big competitor might be your actual competitor. So, but the AI tools, what they do based on the context, based on the data, and based on the prompts that you ask, they can actually categorize them into different competitors, and you exactly know who your competitors are. And you can, find details of your competitors and also understand, where they are landing. And one of the best things that I can do is, it gives me certain tasks. It also gives me the fixes. It's not just a dashboard where I see the data, but it guides me to what should I do next, and what can happen based on these data that I have. So yeah, this is what there is. And here what I'd say to anyone who spent years getting good at SEO, the way I did with my Shopify apps, that skill isn't wasted, but it's not sufficient anymore. The discovery layer has moved, and it's rapidly changing. If you're not checking where you stand in AI answers, not once but continuously, you won't find out the data, because one day you might be cited, the other you won't be. So, you'll find out the way that I almost did was, obviously by accident, and by hearing across the board that, people are using LLM. I myself use LLM every day to work through this. And, if you want to see where you actually stand across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Google AI overviews, there's a free check link below. This is not a pitch, and I would say, you can just look at it, you can run with it, and if you like it, you can go for it. So yeah, that's my story on, how I fumbled on to understanding how ChatGPT and all these tools are so important for AI visibility, and how I was able to streamline my process by building a tool, obviously using AI itself. Thank you so much.